Good time of day, guys. My name is Godzi, and welcome back to another episode of Corpse Party Blood Drive. Last episode, we beat the game, so why am I even here, you might be wondering. It's extra chapter time. Are you stupid? Are you dumb? I'm guessing there's gonna be an 8th one. I do not know if it's from getting a specific ending on one of the other chapters. Maybe there's like some funky alternate ending to chapter 10. But it's also possible it just gets unlocked by the extra chapters themselves. So yeah, I'm not gonna be getting every wrong ending and every name tag, at least on recording. I doubt it's all that interesting. If there's some that I should check out, leave a comment. I'm sure I'm not gonna get through every extra chapter this episode. But yeah, let's go. EX Chapter 1, Last Waltz. All right, what do we got? Morishige, lovely. So cold. My entire body hurts. That's right, I couldn't move a muscle on my body. It's as if I were paralyzed. So we are just, is this just lore for random characters that we didn't already have? Sure. Hi, Seth is playing Cyberpunk. I tried to focus my strength into my arms to wake them up, but... My left arm seems to be broken. The areas in the most pain are my left arm and the left side of my head. My shoulder seems to have taken some of the brunt as well. I lay on my stomach and turned my neck, the one muscle still mobile for me, to see an immediate environment full of broken branches and crushed leaves. Is this didn't he jump out the window or something? Oh, looks like I got caught on some branches and... My ribs may be broken as well. What an ungraceful sight I must be, and utterly helpless to boot. I mustn't allow Mayu to see me in such a state. Mayu? Please, don't look at me. Stop staring at my insides. Shig, please. Ah, new CG for her body, great. That mournful voice playing over my phone, so queerly Mayu's. I just couldn't get the sound of it out of my ears. It haunted my every thought and shook me to my core. Sorrow and anger, hatred and remorse. My head was flooded with wave upon wave of emotion. I'd allowed my own morbid curiosity to get the better of me, using it as justification to disrespect or even desecrate the corpses of countless unfortunate victims in the school. What a beautiful specimen! She sparkles so perfectly in the dim light, innards ripe with a red hue that belies the finality of their situation, appearing passionate and alive. And her intestines are so thin and twisted. Are you embarrassed to show me what lies beneath your skin, my nameless angel? I shall preserve this perfection on my phone for all eternity. For you are truly so unsightly, I can't help but gaze upon you. One corpse more than any other caught my eye, however, and this one wasn't just some nameless person I'd never known in life, as I initially assumed. She was a friend, whom I cherished as I would a sister. Damn, friend-zoned in fucking death. She was the light that had kept me moving forward in this dark space. She was Mayu Suzumoto. But now, she was a stain. Her light had been snuffed, leaving only darkness in my heart. Mayu! Mayu! I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mayu. I was... I cried with every last bit of my soul, penetrating the ugliness of my own physical form as I lay there, bruised and broken and covered in my own vomit. The pungent stench of bile filled my nose. Mayu. Mayu. The tears kept on streaming. I was sobbing so hard, and through possibly broken ribs, no less, that my airways had backed up, causing me to break out into fits of coughing. A sudden gust of wind shook the leaves on the trees around me, chilling my body and soul and filling my ears with the sound of rustling leaves. My head hurts. I feel sick. Oops. I had to move. I knew that if I didn't, I would wither and die here, besmirched by my blood and the contents of my own stomach. I attempted to stand, but the pain was disheartening. Blast it! I balanced myself on my right arm, and with excruciating effort, was able to forcefully climb back to my feet. I put my hand on the nearest tree, using it as a crutch with which to support my weight as I relearned the mere art of remaining upright under these new physical restrictions. Glancing back toward the school, I noticed a rusty tub next to the wall. It was full of water from the near constant rain. Every step I brought with it a new and more intense pain. Every step I took brought with it a new and more intense pain, but I took those steps nonetheless, approaching the tub slowly and methodically. Okay. I squatted in front of it and pulled my face close to the water's surface. Cupping some rainwater in my right hand, I splashed my face, attempting to wash up as best as I could. I have a Sprite! Another gust of wind shook the tree branches, but this time brought with it a gift. A large plastic bag, which somehow found its way to my foot and got itself caught thereupon. I stared at it for a time, pondering what paltry favor fate had brought me, but ultimately chose to keep it on my person as I painstakingly made my way back to the school building. So he didn't just die jumping out the window? Alright. I entered through the connecting corridor between the main building and its annex, and resumed my wanderings through the dark, empty halls. The only sound I could hear was that of my own footfalls. From whence does this foul odor emanate, if not from all corners of this place? And just how many living, breathing human beings remain within its walls? Mochida, Kishinuma, Nakashima, Shinohara, the class rep, Miss Yui, and Mochida's sister. I haven't seen any of them for quite a time now. Have they all perished? Am I the sole survivor? Unlikely. In fact, no. It isn't an unreasonable proposition. Surviving in a place like this requires no small amount of determination. I peered into a random classroom through its broken door, and the first thing I saw was a hefty stack of corpses, each wearing a sailor-style school uniform. Bodies here as well. I don't recall them from before. Such an odd space this is, devoid of day and night alike. It's as if time has stopped, though it clearly hasn't. Corpses decompose here as anywhere else, eventually turning to bone. This truly is a wretched place. Perhaps I'll be among the rotting masses tomorrow. As I walked along the old, run-down halls, a scent not unlike rusted steel began to grace my nose, growing stronger and stronger as I approached my destination. Ah! And then, there I was, the point where the hall formed an S shape. And there it was, an unmatched sight that would turn an ordinary man's stomach. Fortunately, mine had already been turned, twisted, and thoroughly emptied, freeing me to enjoy the view. Mayu, yeah. Sorry I'm late. I've come to pick you up, Mayu. I knelt before the splattered chunks of human flesh on the wall, as if in reverence, and opened the large plastic bag fate had bequeathed me. What? And you just started... What?
There you are, Shig! What on earth kept you? I wasn't the only one waiting, you know. Teach wanted to see you perform too. It's like I said earlier, your acting is always so dazzling and full of life, whether I'm standing right next to you or watching from afar.
You flatter me.
Not at all. I just don't want you to miss your big chance, you know? I'm sure there's a lot of crap to deal with, but, well, I just think there's an equal amount of good that could come of it too. And it wouldn't just be for you, but for those of us who feel energized when they see you act. Like me. So, come on, let's go. I know you can do it.
Okay. Oh, just a little flashback, I guess. When I was young, I was highly prone to sickness, which resulted in me spending an inordinate amount of time home alone. My parents were so busy, they rarely ever had time for me. So I've learned that when I know my expectations aren't to be met, I'm better off expecting nothing from the very start. This guiding philosophy made it easier for me to cope with the time I was forced to spend by myself, and ultimately I came to prefer my own company, willfully locking myself away. Generally, when one's child behaves in such a manner, a responsible parent would exhibit some sign of worry, no? But mine did not. My father is a doctor, so his time at home was always at a premium. And in the rare instances we would talk, he would only ask questions of me, as if I were just another of his patients. To me, he was less a father and more a physician. I rarely spoke and I never smiled, and this terrified my mother, whose interactions with me were always tentative and hesitant, as if she were dealing with some rare disease. This environment shaped me into the person I am, a person distrustful of his own parents. The only family member in whom I had full confidence was my grandfather. But after he passed away, I had no one. I withdrew completely, until I met Mayu. If I hadn't met her, I may never have known the joys of acting. Isn't that right, plastic bag? Let's be together forevermore, Mayu. You should be all here now, right? Wait. It's not here! Where could it be? Mayu, your hairpin is missing! Where is it? Where did it go? I frantically searched the immediate area, but I couldn't find it anywhere. Did someone take it? Blast! I'm sorry, Mayu. I know it must be somewhere around here. I'll find it for you. I swear. Huh. Okay. Hi! Miss me? I'm beginning to think I'm the only person still alive in here. Oh, funny. Is this another, like, fucking analogy between the two of you cut from the same cloth bullshit? I remember that from one of the chapters in the fucking first game.
It hurts! It hurts! I wanna die! I wanna die! Help! Help me! Why me? I did nothing wrong!
Again.
Die! Everybody just die! Damn it! It's your fault! It's all your fault! The hell it is! You're the one to blame! Everything's all your fault! Mommy! Mommy! I can't stop the bleeding. I can't stop it. You're the one who climbed up there just because you could. This isn't anyone's fault. I mean, you climbed it too. But we fell because you pulled me. You're the one who pulled. Nuh-uh. Yeah-huh.
Damn. That's fucking annoying. Children, in reality, are merciless creatures, consumed with greed. The way they react when they've been cornered is what truly fascinates me. I'd kill a kid, of course I would. But those who have died and possess no physical body anymore are nothing more than balls of pure malice and regret. Unsightly and best avoided. When the spark of life is attached to a body, only then is it able to shine its brightest and appear its most beautiful. I simply have no time for the dead. As I approached the auditorium, I heard a voice echoing from within. Someone there. I looked inside and saw a young man standing on the stage, wearing the uniform of a different school. He held a plastic bag in his hand, which seemed to be standing in for a co-star. Oh, Morishige? Yo, what the fuck? This night, on Northern Polaris I do vow, its distant glow alighting on thy cheeks. For you my deepest feelings to opine, my heart and soul cast at your worthy feet. 'Twas at that masquerade our love didst bloom, without reserve and faceless in our guise. Anon our families quarrel, but my fate is to be drowned deep in thy endless eyes. So song to song we danced, our warm embrace shook loose the last resistance of our heart, and when our lips exchanged the softest brush, it were a dream surpassing all man's art. Regret I bear for parting there with thee, when all my instinct was to steal away. Beneath light's cover, tarnishing our names. What need have we of names come break of day? This mad desire that burns within my heart, eternally, full fit it seems to burst. Mayhap it burst long past, and now I stare upon thee with the eyes of one unmade. Oh, couldst that I fly to thee this very night, yet in my flight, perhaps thou were dismayed. The stars in their high seats burn bright this night, as though the future twixt us now to tell. My heart is restless, stricken with such terror, as visions of our failure might impart. Thou art my greatest love, as blue's the sky, yet fate grips me and thee to drive apart. Wherefore cannot we meet as lovers meet? Wherefore dost thou our hearts refuse to cross? Answers, I implore you, stars above. Why tormentest thou us so with heart-tarred loss? Her hands, her feet, her lips, her being in whole is perfect, Eden scoped by God's hand. The lily's purity exposed lay bare, that predators may force their way within. To call myself a guardian to possess another, as my own desire demands. Call it sophistry, or what thou willst. For all else I may be, I'm first a man. And as a man, descent from Adam's kin, this impure flame is kindled here within. Alas, her smile was once enough to sate these demons howling, clawing at my breast. But daily grow these feelings, and those smiles, which once could soothe me, now confer no rest. What match is there for touch, for talk, for taste, to soak thee in like venom through the skin? If sorrow hangs thee, I'll attend thy side, to lift thee up. Is wishing such a sin? I'd love thee even if 'twere from afar, or if all men deride me with contempt. If be my hands corrupt, I'll chop them off. If be my tongue corrupt, I'll scoop it out. If my eyes should defile you, out they come. All sense is naught. If thou departest from me, on bended knee I beg of thee to spurn all others who would court you turn in turn. If not, I pray thee one last favor grant. Allow my lips once more to touch thy hand. The man slowly, painstakingly dropped to one knee, as his soliloquy suggested he would. He began drawing his lips toward the plastic bag, until I made him realize he had an audience. Who's there? Not a bad performance. I had no idea you were such a skilled bard. You're Yuya Kizami, was it? You remembered my name. I'm flattered. I never imagined we truly would meet again, however. I suppose those of like mind have a certain bond in here. Don't lump me in with you. I'm not like you at all. Oh? Your knife. It has blood on it. Oh my. I forgot all about that. Ah, that's right. Your interests lie in taking photos of the dead with your phone, don't they? Sakutaro Morishige from Kisaragi Academy High School, if I'm not mistaken. I see. So you were watching me after all. Far be it from me to criticize your pastime. Getting excited by the sight of corpses is certainly unique. Well, I suppose there's no harm in you knowing. Taboos don't exist in a twisted land such as this. Very true. It's up to each of us how best to use the time we have left in here. And you've chosen to run around killing people with yours? Oh, come now. You speak as if I'm some kind of serial killer. But I only kill those who catch my interest. Arose by any other name. I'm sure those who've caught your interest thus far would have no qualms calling you what you are. You speak as if this doesn't concern you. I see. Am I a person of interest, then? For your amusements? Let's just say, you're a contender. I'm not the only one killing people, you know. And in the end, there's no difference whether you're killed by the living or the dead, is there? In fact, I suspect being killed by the dead is a far more brutal experience. Consider, for example, the girl who wore this hairpin in life. That's... Don't tell me you knew her. Would you give that to me? Ah, so this is a memento of the girl you love? No. Then why do you want it? Because... Because? Why should I bother explaining myself to you? I must have struck a nerve, as I was suddenly being attacked. Not that he was particularly good at it, though. I had no trouble at all dodging. Watch it now. I wouldn't lunge at a man with a knife if I were you. I tossed the hairpin across the room, then grabbed Morishige's right arm and began twisting it. Let go! That really hurts! But if I let you go, you're just going to attack me again, aren't you? Shut the hell up! Just let go of me! And why would I do that exactly? My prey has been caught. It would be such a waste if I were simply to open the trap and return it to the wild so soon. I placed the knife against his cheek. Answer my question. The owner of that hairpin. What is your relation to her? Why do I have to answer a question like that? Don't get smart with me. I don't like smart. I twisted his arm even farther. Ah! That looks like it must really hurt. Maybe you should hurry up and answer my question. Bastard. Mayu is like a sister to me. We've always been together. Oh-ho. So that paste of a dead girl's name is Mayu, then? Mayu's not dead. Huh? Mayu's not dead! She's not! Huh? What's so funny? What's so funny? Are you... Are you honestly telling me that girl smeared on the wall isn't dead? One little stab in the gut is usually enough to take someone out, you know. Life is fragile enough even when it's mostly intact. But that's not even recognizably human anymore. How exactly is she not dead? Mayu's alive! I know she is! Shag. I heard her. From my phone, I heard Mayu's voice. She's alive. Look, she's right there. Are you telling me? That bag? I just couldn't find her hairpin. So for that, I'm very grateful. Now, let go! Let go of me! Clearly attempting to ignore the pain in his arm, Morishige bent and contorted his body until I could no longer hold on to him, eventually shoving me out of his way. Blood streamed out from the spot on Morishige's cheek where I held the knife. It must have dug into his skin a bit during the struggle. With much effort, he stumbled his way over to where Mayu's hairpin had landed. Shag. Now I have all of you. Shag! That's enough! That's enough! I finally found your hairpin! The one you were always wearing. This is absurd. You're just placating yourself. Deluding yourself. All you have is a clump of meat you found in the hallway. Did this Mayu ask you to gather her up into a bag? Was that truly what she wanted from you? Be quiet. It's just your demented little way of soliciting forgiveness. You weren't able to protect her, so now you're desperately trying to atone for that. Shut your mouth! You weren't there for her in her time of need. You basically just let her die. Morishige was trying to look strong and in control up till now, but his cracks were starting to show. They always do after a time. She probably hates you for it. You are, after all, the man who failed to save her from a gruesome demise.
I don't feel that way at all!
I ran into some ghostly children just before coming here, and they were saying some rather hostile things. If their grudges were any indication, then this Mayu is likely standing next to you right now, telling you to hurry up and die already.
No! That's not true, Shig!
You're right. You have to be. I couldn't protect her. I let my precious Mayu die.
It's not your fault! It's not your fault. It was all me! I was the one who felt bad for those children and let myself get trapped by them. I was so lonely. So very lonely. I just needed someone to talk to. I should have listened to Shinozaki and Kishinuma. I would have been happy if I'd just been able to see you one last time, though.
She meant so much to you, and yet you allowed her to die all alone. From this point on, you'll need to live with the guilt of that failure until the day you die. Or you can atone for your sins and take your own life. In which case, I believe I can be of assistance.
Stop!
Mayu.
I want Shig to live! Don't speak for me, you awful man! You don't know how I feel!
Mayu.
I loved you, you know. I was always too embarrassed to say it. But if I'd known this is how things would end, I would've.
Mayu.
That's why I don't want you to wind up like I did, okay?
Morishige stared at my knife for a time, then reached out and grabbed it.
Don't do it, Shig!
I'm sorry I couldn't protect you. I love you.
Shig?
And just like that, he'd stabbed himself in the chest. With what little strength he had remaining, he then pulled the knife from his body. Blood poured from his wound, staining the area around him a deep crimson.
Please! No!
Mayu, let's be together. Morishige fell to the floor, his eyes still wide open once he'd stopped writhing. I slowly walked over to his body. I then removed my knife from his hand and shook the blood from its blade. Death is what divides humans. It returns us all to nothing. It can either bring us eternal peace or eternal suffering. I'm glad this could come in handy. So tragic, yet so beautiful, was the melancholic waltz we danced here today, Morishige. If that's it, then, you know, that was solid. Damn, that might have been the best writing in the entire game so far. What the fuck? Soulful testimony from Yuka Nanri has been unlocked, and Tetsuya Kakihara. I'm guessing that's Mayu and Morishige's VAs. Alright, that was solid! Genuinely. Damn. I guess an advantage that chapter has is that it did not take place during Blood Drive. It took place during the first game. I mean, there is kind of the plot hole at the gym, but let's be real. Didn't the pool come out of nowhere during that game too? The building shifts itself around like crazy. I'm pretty sure the reason for it existing, technically, was because of Sachiko being like, we need a place for the birthday bash! So she made up a gym, but I can still buy it, you know? I mean, the location matters less than, like, it could have been like, there's no cafeteria in Heavenly Host, for fuck's sake. It could have been the art room, it could have been the music room, it could have been a random classroom, the middle of the hallway, the reference room, it doesn't matter. It's only a little climactic since it's the gym. That was solid, though. I think that's context that should be in the first game, I feel. Really? That was a pretty solid scene. I would say something like that should have been in the first game. Yeah. Because the way Morishige died was just kind of like, he went crazy because he realized the photo he'd been fucking jerking it to for the last few hours was actually Mayu. And then Mayu says, don't look at my insides, and he jumps out the window and presumably dies. But no, that's better, actually. I like that a lot. That's solid. Alright, EX Chapter 2. What's this one? Martuba. Okay, is this one gonna be about Magari? I'd be okay with some fucking Magari backstory, I guess. It was a few days before Ayumi would be released from the hospital. The setting was a dark, palatial chamber. Truly palatial at that, with various paintings and tapestries lining the walls and ornate, vividly hued candelabras dotting the room, along with a variety of human and animal-shaped objects placed here and there. In short, these were surroundings rife with a sinister and supernatural mystique. Such was the nature of Martuba's tomb, the secret organization of black magic practitioners to which I belonged. And into these solemn yet stern environs echoed a low, deep female voice. We have determined the whereabouts of our holiest of objects. The grimoire plundered from our hands by those detestable Yagora. There was a slow, heavy cadence to her voice and a degree of archaism to her speech that perfectly conveyed both authority and experience. This was not someone to be questioned. Surrounding me in this sacred space were numerous shadowy figures, each wearing a black robe. We looked an awful lot like the pop culture perception of devil worshippers. Oh! Truly! At long last! Damn those Yagora! The Book of Shadows. The weight of this news was evident by the sudden emotional reactions of those around me. I too was wearing the black robe, though the bits of pale skin peeking through would have made it easy to pick me out of a lineup. Lo, the radiance of our queen hath reached mine eyes from the depths of the schoolhouse manifested by the Nirvana. Oh-ho! Just as predicted, our founder's wisdom rings true. But was the girl of use? There was a palpable sense of excitement throughout the chamber. Magari! Magari! Come!
Okay.
Okay. Did you say the bit of pale skin? You're goddamn half naked as usual still. I stepped forward. Mistress Magari, of the second degree, we place in thee our trust on thy mission.
Thanks a bunch.
The very fate of this, our sacred order of Martuba's tomb, doth depend solely upon the Book of Shadows. Thus must thou useth thy power to retrieve it forthwith.
Huh? By myself?
Thou beest the sole master available at this juncture. She with the second right of succession, Azusa Takai, be also present within the Nirvana. Thou art to retrieve both the book and the girl. So her existence did matter, alright.
The fuck? Fine.
I had no qualms about talking back to our high and mighty leader, but some fights you just can't win. There was no getting out of this one, so I figured I'd just suck it up. We shall keep thee abreast of all pertinent information. Do not falter. If thou shouldest fail, know that thy right of succession shall be revoked.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. I found myself in the local park that night. Why am I narrating in first person? From atop the jungle gym, I contemplated my situation out loud. Why does everything have to suck so much? With my position as successor on the line, I guess I don't really have any choice but to go. But goddamn, Heavenly Host? Why? And have to go after that fucker Azusa on top of everything else. Where the hell does she get off?
I laid myself back onto the steel bars of the jungle gym and gazed up at the sky. The stars were particularly bright that night.
Why the fuck did you have to die on me, Naho Sainoki? Naho! bitch! Scum! Shithead!
I could almost make out Naho's wry smile in the sky above, as if she'd somehow become a constellation after her passing.
I was supposed to be the one to kill you.
I felt alone, unchallenged. And then even the Naho constellation died on me, sliced through by the tail of a shooting star in the dark of night.
Why'd you have to leave me? Aren't I good enough for you?
Unfortunately, I was alone no longer. A voice rang out from below me. It was Misuto. Oh, great. Hey, long time no see. When I turned to look, I saw him standing at the bottom of the jungle gym, waving. Oh, okay, they're fighting. I said nothing in response, instead brandishing my scythe and leaping from my perch in one swift motion, hoping to catch him off guard and lop off his damned head. He was obviously ready for me, however, casually stopping my advance with a 500 yen umbrella without once displaying the slightest surprise or strain on his face. If I had to give him credit for one thing, it would be keeping cool under pressure. My strength is not insubstantial. He had to have been struggling to hold me back, but it didn't show. You're also after the Book of Shadows, aren't you, Miss Fourth in Line? So how about we work together till one of us gets it? The scythe and the plastic umbrella's frame scraped against one another with an ear-splitting shing. I had every intention of killing him right then and there, and I made no effort to hide it. Misuto, however, was just smiling back at me, though he had a look in his eyes as well that slightly belied his outwardly nonchalant regard for this battle. His black pupils shone red in the dim light. Finally, we each pushed hard enough that our weapons clashed and deflected one another, putting some slight distance between us.
We'll save this fun for later, persistent Yagura scum!
With a flick of the wrist, I shrank my scythe back into portable form and sheathed it. I then crossed my arms and smiled.
Yeah, there'll be plenty of time for a battle royale later. Guess I'll just have to wait till then. 'Cause I sure would love to kill you.
Oh wait, that's him. Fuck. Yeah, there'll be plenty of time for a battle royale later. Guess I'll just have to wait till then. 'Cause I sure would love to kill you too, Martuba. When this is all over, I'll be sure to watch you take your last breath. Dun 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 dun. Pop. If we're going to work together, though, we'll need to be on the same page. I believe what you're looking for is a fully intact Book of Shadows, correct? Your holy object with the nirvana in the core all put right back into it to form the completed whole as it originally manifested. Misuto pointed his 500 yen umbrella at me.
That nirvana was awakened a long time ago by Yoshie of the Shinozaki lineage. Which means the book can't be reformed by anyone but Ayumi Shinozaki, the successor to that line.
Misuto huffed derisively.
So I plan on sending Ayumi to the nirvana, to Heavenly Host, once more. I'll get her to pay a visit to Makina Shinozaki's apartment.
Misuto had his arms crossed as well. This was about as reluctant a truce as they come. Is that so? You do realize that if she dies, there's no one left to replace her.
Of course I know that, which is why I'll be supporting her from the shadows. As much of a royal pain in the ass as that is.
Okay, you do that. I've got some plans of my own.
This hardly counts as working together, you know. It's pretty much just a race to see who gets the book first. And that sure as hell ain't gonna be you, you parka freak.
Says you,
shit bitch!
They're both so fucking... They just make up curse words. It's great. I love their dynamic. Like, genuinely, their dynamic's pretty good. Them as characters, eh. He turned to walk away, but not before chucking a knife in my general direction. It grazed my cheek before embedding itself in the bark of a tree behind me. though I made absolutely no attempts to dodge it, nor did I allow my expression to change even marginally.
Excellent.
I smiled widely, drunk on my own insane machinations. The pieces were all falling into place. Okay. What the fuck is this? What the fuck is this? What the fuck is happening right now? Much later, lying on my back in the bathing area, I thoroughly sized up the Ever After stones I'd stolen. All the while, a maid was scrubbing me down to get rid of dead skin cells so I could keep on looking pure and lovely. Alright.
Ouch.
The maid just flashed me a smile and continued scrubbing.
Book of Shadows aside, I wonder if I can maybe find Naho or Sayaka's body. That seems like it might be kinda fuck!
The vehement scrubbing was making my body vibrate quite a bit. Oh, it's vibrating noises like rather than just talking very loudly. And between that and my monologuing, I wound up biting my tongue. Immediately, I shot to my feet.
That's it! Stop, you piece of shit! I bit my tongue!
Not just yet. We still need to wash you down with hot water. I got so much off. You must feel like a new woman.
Is my skin squeaky?
It is.
Prove it!
As you wish. What? Sure enough, when the maid ran her fingers over my body, the resistance they found created a sound not unlike that of a freshly cleaned plate.
Whoa! Not bad for a scrub. Okay then, all is forgiven.
What the was that necessary?
God fucking heavenly host!
I fell back onto my king-sized canopy bed, sprawling out as much as I possibly could. You know, this might be a cursed comparison, but I just realized who Magari sort of reminds me of. Well, I mean, I guess it's more that she like, as far as anime characters go, or video game characters go as a whole, she sort of talks a bit more like an actual person, like making up curse words, not exactly being that eloquent, hating shit very viscerally. So, cursed comparison, Susie from Deltarune. She's just like, God fucking heavenly host, and it reminded me of the fucking scene from Deltarune Chapter 2 where Susie's like, school goddamn project. Books. Fucking love them. Just the sarcasm, I don't know. Maybe, I mean, whatever. They're not comparable, like, morally or anything, don't get me wrong. It's just their way of speaking, I guess. I fell back onto my king-size canopy bed, sprawling out as much as I possibly could. On the floor nearby was a suitcase my butler, Waldo, had prepared for me. Oh, yeah, you mentioned him, and I don't think I even made a Where's Waldo joke, so good on me. Madame. Waldo was always so courteous, and always kept an even tone of voice when addressing me. The preparations have been completed. I turned my head and looked down at the suitcase.
God damn it all! God!
I slowly peeled myself off the bed to begin the arduous task of packing for my trip to Heavenly Host. Opened and ready for me, the suitcase contained a number of essentials that Waldo had pre-packed on my behalf.
This sucks. It's awful. I hate it.
There was a canteen, some store-bought sweet buns, a black robe, some candles, matches, a knife, and a few other assorted survival items.
This sucks. It's awful. I hate it.
Madame, I've also prepared for you some cosmetic water and liquid foundation, along with milk lotion if it's needed. He had 2 large bottles in his hand.
I hate it.
Of course. Is that the end of this? Alright, well, I guess it was kind of backstory. That wasn't terrible, but it wasn't really interesting. I don't feel like we got much out of that. Alright, Martuba's tomb, Magari, Misuto, whatever. Okay, so that means, at least of the ones we have unlocked so far, there's totally an 8th one. There's 5 more that I've unlocked, and if chapter 8 gets unlocked by one of these, then awesome. If not, then shit, I'll have to find how to get it. Again, make sure to leave comments for, some wrong ends you might want me to get, whether they're funny or interesting or have lore implications or what not. Yeah, that's gonna be it for this first bonus episode. At this pace, we'd probably have, assuming no long-ass wrong ends or anything, there's probably gonna be 3 more bonus episodes. Assuming each chapter's about 20 to 30 minutes, because EX Chapter 1 was 30 minutes, EX Chapter 2 was about 20. So, yeah. That's gonna be it for this episode, guys. If you liked it, then be sure to press the like button, and if you didn't like it, then fuck you too. Remember to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all my videos and stuff. And as always, my name is Godzi, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye. Yeah.